The A to Z of the human body.
My toe bone's connected to my foot bone. My foot bone's connected to my heel bone.
This segment may contain... oh, too late. The A to Z of the human body on weekends.
Sausages, blood pudding, young sow's udder, lobster, mullet, Attic honey and Syrian dates, all washed down with a few glasses of red wine. Look, centuries ago, when Romans were having their food orgies, eating as much as they could, some would resort to regurgitating it so they could eat even more. And they had one cute little way of making themselves throw all of those delicious things back up. Do you know what it was? It was to tickle inside their ear with a feather. Cindy Morris is a nurse with over 20 years' experience. She specialises in and teaches other nurses at Crystal Clear Ears how to remove wax, manage infections and take out the common and not so common foreign bodies found in ears. Cindy, before I get to the weird things that you found in people's ears, have you ever had someone be sick on you when you've been tickling inside their ear?
Well, thank goodness I haven't actually had anyone vomit on me, which is great. But you're probably referring to that there's a little cranial nerve that does run through the ear. And sometimes when we do touch the inside of the ear, the patient might actually get a little tickle in the throat or they might cough. But luckily, no vomiting.
A big part of your job, earwax removalist, a job with ample yuck factor, is apparently a whole lot of fun as well. Do you love it?
Oh, absolutely love it. We are a group of nurses that are really passionate about ears, and it's such a satisfying job for not just ourselves, but for our patients as well.
Out of the thousands and thousands of ears that you've looked in, are they all different?
Yes, they are all different shapes, different sizes. Some are straight, some are bendy, some go up, some go down. They're just all so different. So, we can look in up to 30 ears a day and every single one can be different.
When it comes to having wax in our ears, do we need the wax in there?
Well, look, it's a good question. We actually do need a little bit of wax in the ears, and there's three main reasons why. It does help to keep our ears healthy because it is a little bit acidic, so it does help prevent infections in the ear. It also keeps our ears comfortable because it's got a little bit of oil and it acts as a lubricant, so that means they don't get really itchy. And also wax is a protector, so it protects our eardrums from dust and dirt and maybe some other little creepy crawlies getting in there as well.
How do we know if we have a little bit too much wax in there? And are some people specifically prone to that?
Look, certainly there are some symptoms which some people will have. Things like itchiness in the ear, pain, a blocked sort of feeling, or just not being able to hear properly. But having said that, some people can have a canal full of wax, but they may not actually realise it. Yeah.
And what's the process of getting wax out? Can you explain what's in your toolkit?
Yeah, absolutely. We do have some really tiny instruments. If you imagine the ear canal or imagine like the width of a pencil, that's sort of the space that we're working in. So we use tiny little scoops and spoons, little forceps, and also a little cannula or straw that really gently just vacuums out any sort of wax or debris in there really safely. And
how often should we clean our ears? I suppose it's different for everyone, isn't it?
It is different for everyone, and people should never try to clean their ears themselves. But if they're coming to us, everyone's different. I think sometimes, a yearly check is really good for most people, just for some general maintenance. But there are some people that might have hearing aids that might need to come every 6 months, or some unlucky people that actually need to come and see us, every 2 or 3 months because they just produce excessive wax.
You said don't clean your ears yourself. So Mum was right. Don't put anything inside your ear smaller than your elbow. Is that really true? Because, we've done it. We've all done it.
That's right. Yeah, very true. And the number of patients that actually repeat that to us as well. Yeah.
Have you, tell me about the horror stories, because sometimes you find more than just wax in there, don't you?
Oh, goodness me. Where do I start? I mean, firstly, people can certainly injure their ears. They can perforate their eardrums. They can cause bleeding. They can cause infections. And the skin inside the ear is so delicate and fragile, and you've just got to be so careful in there.
So what weird things have you found down there?
Oh, golly, Andrew, where do I start? Look, with kids, we find anything tends to be food. So, we've removed lettuce, we've removed corn kernels. I had a little boy that had a sprinkling of hundreds and thousands all the way down the canal. Speaking of cleaning one's own ears, we do find a lot of cotton bud tips that have come off the stick. So we had one gentleman who had 3 cotton bud tips in one ear, and then behind that he had some tissue paper as well, sort of shoved down there. We removed pet fur, we've removed rubber bands, false fingernails, and one that might just freak out your listeners a little bit is insects. So we do remove bugs and spiders. I've removed a couple of cockroaches as well. And a little funny story actually from a couple of weeks ago. A lovely young lady came in to see our nurse, Anna, and she had a feeling of something furry in her ear and she thought it was a bug. But when Anna actually looked in, it turned out to be some false eyelashes that were down there, tickling against the eardrum. So you never know quite what you're going to get, and a lot of people don't even realise there's anything there.
Oh my goodness! I suppose when you're pulling things like that out, people are relieved. But is that just the general reaction that you get from people once their ears have been cleaned? If it's regardless if it's an insect or if it's wax, they're kind of like, oh, I can hear again.
Oh, absolutely. Look, we do get a lot of sort of alleluia moments where the light goes on and they're like, oh my goodness, I can hear, because it might have been such a long time. But certainly very satisfying, and they just feel so relieved to be able to hear clearly again. I think we take our hearing for granted. So, yes, people love it.
Cindy, I want to thank you so much for keeping our ears clean so that we can continue to listen to wonderful stations like ABC Radio. Where would we be without nurses like you? Cindy Morris is a nurse educator at Crystal Clear Ears. Thank you so much for your time today.
Oh, it's been great. Thanks a lot, Andrea.
Weekends with Andrea Gibbs
on ABC Radio.
I wonder, have you found anything weird in your ears? Let me know. 1300 800 222 is the number to call. Share the story. Was it a fake eyelash? A little bit of lettuce? Some hundreds and thousands perhaps? Gee whiz, you can actually fit quite a lot in your ear if you try, I suppose. Or you can shoot me through a text message. Have you found anything weird in your ear? 0448 922 604. Maybe a bean.